What's the first song that you copywrote?
Maybe Jungle on My Neck.
Okay.
Yeah, Jungle on My Neck. We were at your house.
Yeah.
And we did that.
How old were you?
Young.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I remember having BMI because I didn't know anything about BMI or ASCAP or CSAC. You set us up with it and you said, this is what you need to do. This is how you claim your works and all of that good stuff. And till this day, now my BMI checks, they're a little different now. I remember my first BMI check was like 30-something cents. Now they like 30-some thousand. You know what I'm saying? 40, 50, we're gonna talk about the number. You know what I'm saying? But it was because of you that, I understood what that was,
Well, I'll be looking for that 1% whenever
1%.
Whenever you. Hello, I'm Dr. George Lockhart, and this is Leadership Unlocked, where we identify some of the most prominent individuals in Palm Beach County that help gear towards the young people and what direction do they want to go in. And today's guest I'm proud to have here is a young man who came through my studio when I was doing music in the game, things of that nature, and he followed that path through church. And I tell you what, if you can play in church gospel music, you can play anywhere. Right now, he's currently touring the United States, and he's doing his rap, he's doing country music, and he's doing a lot of other things. Ladies and gentlemen, Dubba-AA, Aaron Lockhart Jr.
Yes. How you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. It's good to have you on.
Man, I appreciate the invite. For sure. Yeah.
So I have so many questions. So we start off with you playing in the church, right?
Yep.
And before you knew what 30 seconds and 16ths and things of that nature, you already knew how to do that. How well did the church prepare you for music when you went into, I'm going to guess, Roosevelt Middle School under Joe Bell?
For me, the church was the catalyst. It was everything that I learned. You know what I'm saying? Forget the marching band. Still to this day, the church is the foundation of what music is for, I think, every musician. So I was already well versed in the music industry, in the marching band, with how to count bars and all of that through the church. So that was, for me, still to this day, was everything.
Did that set you apart from the other drummers, say, when you went to Tennessee State University? And because after watching the movie, everyone has a good sense of HBCUs. But when you go into the marching band of the HBCUs, how well did that prepare you, the church-wise? Or do you had to start over?
No. So I graduated from high school, and I took like 4 or 5 years off. So, but I was always still playing in the church. Mm-hmm. So for me, I didn't lose it. I just kind of, stored it away. But when I got to Tennessee State, the style, the talent, the skill, it was still embedded in me because I was still actively playing in the church. So honestly, I lost the ability to read music. I forgot, you know what I'm saying? And when I got to Tennessee State, they said, look, you can't read music at all, but you are the best snare drummer we got, so we're going to put you on snare drum. So, that was because of me being in the church actively.
All right. So I can agree with that. I know when I went off to go and play in school at Tuskegee University, playing under Darryl Page Jones, he's the lead guitarist with Lionel Richie. He did solo on Hello. I was playing in the studio with those guys. And he was playing with the Commodores, and I would play up and down just like they told me. Mm-hmm. But during sessions, I would just cut loose and start playing gospel, whatever. They came in, they were so shocked that I could play like that. He said, why don't you play like that all the time? Because you told me to play straight up and down.
Yeah.
Stay in the pocket. It was the phrase back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And so I had to pull back playing as a keyboardist. Growing up in a holiness church, some people may know it as Pentecostal, where we have a foot stomping, hand clapping, good old time.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to learn to play with the beat, behind the beat, in between the beats. They got named for it as far as blues, jazz, and country and things of that nature. So when you went in to do your own personal sessions, how much of playing at Palm Beach Lakes High School or Tennessee State or the church, when you want to do your own sessions, how much of that goes into making your own particular music?
I incorporate everything that I've learned from marching band and church, and I incorporate it, right? You have people like Prof Jenkins and Dr. McDonald.
Who are they?
Band directors.
Where?
Tennessee State. And Prof Sexton, and of course the late great Lonnie Green and Joseph Bell from Roosevelt and Palm Beach Lakes. I saw how they arrange records, right? So when you produce a record, you have to have certain key elements, the bass line, right? So when you think about marching band, the tuba is the bass. When you think about the trumpets, the baritone, the trombone, all of that, that is the piano. Right. Hold
on. There you got to control your women. All right, go ahead.
So when you think about those certain elements, you think about how the flutes and the clarinet, they are the lead of the record. So I saw how they wrote out records and I said, okay, cool. I'll incorporate that, right? As far as the lead lines and how it's structured, the drum cadences, and I just incorporated it in those records that I was producing at the time. But then, okay, how do you structure the lyric, right? And that's when you listen to certain hymns and you see how they are structured, right? As far as the hook, the bridge, the chorus, and I just put it all together. That's all.
Well, I think that's very important because what you're saying to me is discipline.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You got to be disciplined. And that's what the church taught us what to do, right? Now, as a keyboardist for our church, I've gone through 9 drummers, right? Including your dad.
Yeah.
And our founder, Mother Tate, Bishop Tate, she wrote poems or words without the lyrics, without the
melody,
the music, the melody, right? And things of that nature. So how would you go about taking some of her words and scoring it? You have tunes that always in your head.
Yeah, I was just tapping just now. It's a never ending thing.
Yeah.
But it's just the matter of just listening to it and just trying to put it together. Nowadays, you got AI and you can just put it in there and it'll give you the melody of what you most deaf.
Can they copy? Is that your music? Can it be copywritten?
Man, if you paying for a subscription, it's yours for sure. I was with Dallas Austin literally last night, and they were showing us this DAW that is ran by AI now, and you just pay the monthly subscription, and it helps the artist come up with lyrics, the producer, and it's like 5 to 10 seconds, and you got a full song.
Wow, that's incredible.
It's crazy, yeah.
I know Dr. Mahari Lewis has also written a lot of different poems and music, and I brought him into the studio, and he did a couple of songs, and the church anthem. And I tell you what, it's just fascinating to watch when you bring someone into the studio.
Yeah.
Because their whole demeanor change.
Yeah.
You know, when you say 3, 2, do you find that when you bring people for the first time into the studio?
No, because I only deal with professionals.
Okay.
You know, we ain't got time to, try to hold your hand. Like, you got to know what you're doing on this side. But I do own a studio, Echo Room Studios in Atlanta. And if you want to book a session, I wouldn't be there, but I have engineers and other people that can help guide you. So I know it's people that want to do it. But for me, if you're getting in the studio with me, you kind of got to be knowledgeable of what you trying to do and how you trying to do it.
Okay, so I'm an amateur.
Okay.
I walk in off the street and I want to book your studio.
Okay.
How much do I need?
For the A room, it's $100 an hour 2-hour minimum.
When you say A room, that's for
That's
beginners?
the big room. No, the A room is the big room.
$200 an hour.
Yeah, well, $100 an hour, 2-hour minimum.
Okay.
So $200 for 2 hours.
Yeah.
The B room is $80 an hour, so $160. And the C room is a smaller room. That's the room that most beginners go in, and that is $60, so $120. And it comes with an engineer for you.
Well,
So,
that's nominal. That's
yeah,
not
it's
that
not
bad.
bad. No, not at all.
For people who are really trying to now.
Yeah,
You've played with people, I've played with people.
yeah,
And then they just know they're the best ever.
yeah.
What do you say to them? Do you take their money? Do you say, stop? You'll never be famous. You can't sing.
Nope.
I mean, what do you say?
Nothing. I mean, this is a business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If you want to spend it with me, let's go. Come
Yeah.
on. Yeah. I feel when you go to Macy's or somebody of that sort, right? People come in and they buy clothes that they know that they don't fit. It's not my job to tell you that you don't look good in it.
Yeah.
Let me get the money. You know
Fair
what I'm saying?
enough.
So
Yeah.
that's all. Yeah,
Fair
that's
enough.
it. Yeah.
So I got to tell a story.
Yeah.
You and I we had a gig.
Okay.
I'm playing. You're missing for 45 minutes. What happened?
When was this? Oh, in Clewiston.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in Clewiston. We had a gig.
We're getting ready to start.
Yep. Getting ready to start, and the guy had me hemmed up in the bathroom.
Why?
He was trying to let me hear his demo. And everybody was looking for me. He had me in the bathroom. He came in and look, what we doing? I'm just trying to let him hear my music. And yeah, it was a time, but that happens all the time. Though.
Yeah, that was my next question. Does that happen all the time?
All the time.
I mean, people handing you, maybe not cassette tapes anymore, but back when I was going in, I know I was standing next to Lionel Richie when the guy walked up to him and just interrupted us and just handed him a demo tape, you know, and the Lionel, he was nice about it, took it and put it in his pocket, you know. However, he ended up being sued because someone said, that's my song that Lionel Richie wrote. Well, it's only so many notes on the keyboard. How do you avoid that?
To be honest, if you want me to be honest with you, you have something that you taught me. It's called a poor man's copyright.
Yes.
Right? Now, in today's time, it's not necessarily emailing it. I mean, not texting it to yourself. I mean, not texting it, mailing it to yourself. Mm-hmm. You have something on your Pro Tools sessions when it was created.
Yeah.
So if my session was created 4 years ago, right, and your session is created 2 years ago, right. Now we have a date. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like I just released a song maybe a week ago, right? And people was like, this sound like another song. And I had to realize, I said, I recorded this song in 2019. I just put it out in 2025. Right. So it's certain things now that you can do to protect yourself. But a lot of times I feel like people, they're just trying to get a quick payout.
Sure.
You know? So,
yeah. Or just like with the athletes, right? They just want to get a quick payout,
That's
whatever.
That's it.
Let's settle. You know, it's way more than what they had before. Right?
Exactly.
So the Library of Congress, you bring up a very good point.
Yep.
You know, and when you were coming up under me, music-wise, and watching and listening, the book, This Business of Music, which is the Bible for any musician you should have if you're writing. And as we talked about before, the Library of Congress is your best friend. But until you can get to that, because it'll take 12 weeks to get a song copywritten. Yeah. You know, which is why it's best to do a volume of works. Anyway, what's the first song that you copywrote?
Maybe Jungle on My Neck.
Okay.
Yeah, Jungle on My Neck. We were at your house.
Yeah.
And we did that.
How old were you?
Young. Yeah. I don't remember, but I remember having BMI because I didn't know anything about BMI or ASCAP or CSAC. You set us up with it and you said, this is what you need to do. This is how you claim your works and all of that good stuff. And till this day, now my BMI checks, they're a little different now. I remember my first BMI check was like 30-something cents. Now they like 30-some thousand. You know what I'm saying? 40, 50, you know, we're going to talk about the number, you know what I'm saying? But it was because of you that, you know, I understood what that was, you know.
Well, I'll be looking for that 1% whenever
1%.
Yeah, whenever you. Yeah. But so my first check was my highest paid check was $78.
Okay.
And
that's not bad.
Wait, no, yeah, because every song, every time it's played, right, it's 4 cents, 8 cents, 12 cents.
Yep.
Depends on when it's played, right? $1.25 is if it's at the movies, probably going up since then. If it's on a score, right? So when I got that check for $78, that's a lot of 8 cents.
Yeah.
That's a lot of times being played. For my particular song, I thought that was,
Yeah.
I was walking on cloud 9 at that time. So now the royalty checks that you get coming in, how often before they start slowing down, before you start saying, you know what, let me go jump back into the studio?
Oh, so for me, I go to the studio every day. When I leave here, I'm going to the studio.
Yeah. Here in West Palm Beach?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, how you get a studio in West Palm?
I just brought it and just put it up in Lake Worth.
What? Say that again now.
Yeah, so I own a studio in Lake Worth.
Okay, so I didn't know that.
So I just got one in Lake Worth.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I'm in town, I just say, everybody got to get out. I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, so you put out a song, right? Let's just say me and you put out a song today. You have to wait for as far as BMI, the pay periods, right? So they are in quarters, right? 3 months. You won't see a check for 2 pay periods. So 6 months, that's when you get your first check for that one particular song. So, but then you have other streams of income now. So you have BMI, you have YouTube, you have the label side of it, where there's like a Universal, or a Warner Music Group portal, and then you have SoundExchange. So you got 5 pieces of streams of income that you can get paid off of course. And then, of course, if you're an artist, you get paid for shows, features, appearances. So that helps a little bit, but the work is never done for a true musician. As you know, you always doing something musically. So if that's your profession, you just in there. It's not work for me. You know what I'm saying? It's more so a video game. Every time I go in there and I try to come up with a lyric, or I go in, I make a beat or something like that, it's fun for me.
Yeah, so you mentioned YouTube, which probably the most tangible that our listeners can get a hold of. They just can't walk into a studio or things like that and hire musicians. But they can do something in a home. And so what will it take for you to start making money off YouTube? Explain to me like a first grader.
In order to start making music, you need to have 1,000 subscribers. And that's when...
In order to start getting paid for the music.
Yes.
1,000 subscribers. Yeah. Okay.
And that's
through your channel.
Through your channel.
Okay.
Yes. That's when YouTube will open up a portal for you to say that your account can get monetized. Once you get that, then you can get a little... you would get like a statement, but for every 1,000,000 streams, it's like a couple $1,000. It's nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you get the most off of Tidal.
In YouTube?
No, Tidal, the streaming platform.
Oh, that's a streaming platform.
Yeah, streaming platform. You get the most. Apple Music is, I think, the least.
Under YouTube?
No. Just period on all streaming platforms.
Oh, okay.
YouTube really doesn't pay that much either.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? But those other streaming platforms, Tidal is something that Jay-Z is a part of. Spotify is the second, I think. And then everybody else, but Apple is very low as well.
Okay, give me the formula to write a #1 hit song.
There's no formula.
That's what Lionel told me.
There's no formula.
He said if there was a formula
everybody would buy it.
Yeah. you know? And then so you take the Beatles, who's big in the 60s, people may not consider that as big time today. They may not even listen to it.
Yeah.
You know, or some other people, some other artists, even gospel.
Yeah.
Right? There's no #1 hit formula for that. So you have to just keep poking until you find something. You know? Now, do you write to get #1, or do you write passionately and hope, and then it falls to #1?
I think every artist who starts off, they write passionately, but once they get some type of success, they want to be able to keep the success going. So they try to, we got to crank out another hit. But then that's when the hits stop coming, because now it's a job for you and you feel like, you know what, I want to get a bigger house. I got to get the bigger car. I got to do X, Y, and Z. And you lose the passion in the music when you first started.
Yeah. So you told me you was and don't say the name, but you was in with the famous artist in Nashville.
Okay.
And you said that person had 12 writers.
Yeah.
And that person would go in and do on their cell phone working, and you felt sorry for that for that person. And then that person would go in, do some lines, and go sit back down. How many writers do you need when can't you have your own? Can't you do like Stevie Wonder or some of the other gospel singers do your, as I taught you all when you're growing up, 4 quarters, right? Yeah. Producer, writer, performer, arranger, right? And then somebody jumping in as executive producer. Mm-hmm. And if you can do all things Stevie Wonder, you know, Prince, then all 4 of those quarters go to you, you know? Yeah. So when you selecting writers, do you say, you know what? You're talented, but you need a writer. Do you go in and get writers for those people for their songs?
No, not me per se. That's not my lane, because I'm an artist myself. Yeah. So I'm more so on that lane, but you got 2 different types of splits, right? You have the regular traditional splits. I play the piano. But I want my publishing. You can do a work for hire, which a lot of times people do. But I produced on this record. Me, you, and somebody else did the record. That's 16.6% per person, right? And we should split that evenly, right? As producers. But you helped me write some lines. And I may have wrote the hook. Now, what about the artists? Like, they didn't write anything. Right. But it doesn't work like that, right? So they have something called pop splits now. Oh. We all know the genre pop, popular music, sure. Right? What they do now with pop splits, they just split everything down the middle with everybody. Okay. Just to make sure everybody's fair and it's fine, because, yes, I may have wrote the 80% of the song and I produced the record. But now that leaves you with 2% because you told me to change this to the. Yeah. And it's, but if you in the room, it's pop splits. But yes, not in today's genre, in today's game, even back in the day in Motown, Smokey was not the only person writing those songs. Right. He was the face, right. But they had a room of 10 writers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He was just the face of it. But they have a lot of writers now where when you see a big record, a lot of times you see 17, 18 people on that song. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. On one song? On one record. Incredible. And that's just writing. Yeah. But then you may have 5, 6 producers on one record. And that still does not guarantee you a number 1 hit or a top 10 hit. Nope. Or top 100 hit. Nope. That's amazing. Yeah. Are you starstruck anymore? Nah. No? When you went to the Grammy, you called me up and you said, this is a guy named Willie Nelson in front of me. Who's he? Oh, yeah. I said, Willie Nelson. I said, he's pretty big country singer. Yeah. But not knowing who he was and things of that nature. And you found out later who he was. Yeah. But when you see people out there, when you went there, you saw Beyonce, you saw all the rest of them, and then they come up. Who came up to you? You said Kirk Franklin? Kirk Franklin, yeah, Curtis Blow. Yeah, Curtis Blow. Curtis Blow. Yeah. He came up to you, and I mean, how do you take that on? You have conversation with them. What do they want from you? Just to, they just really just giving, their congrats to you, because they were there at one point in time. So they just almost like passing the torch. Yeah. Just saying, yo, congrats. We see you working. Keep going. And that particular Grammys, that was the 50th anniversary of hip hop. So all the hip hop legends that started hip hop, that had a hand in it, they were there. So that was cool to be in the room for that. It was cool. LL Cool J and all of those people. Yeah.
How do you, and this is an important question, how do you take what you do for a living in that genre and mix it with your Christianity?
So I was just playing a record, right? Whenever I work with an artist, or I'm doing a joint project like me and 22Gs, or me and Gloss Up, or whoever I'm working with, right? So I'm doing joint projects, and of course I'm doing hooks and all of that stuff on them using my voice. But I always try to incorporate one record where it's faith in base, infused with what I'm doing. So it'll, like the song called Blessings that I did with 22Gs, and it made him be like, you know what, Dub, like, bro, I feel something about this song, like you different. I remember I was talking to Zaytoven, and Zaytoven said I saw this in the interview, he said that he doesn't smoke nor does he drink like myself. I don't do any of that. But when he goes in the studio with other people like, yo, don't do that around Zay because, he a good guy. Like he plays in church. His dad's a pastor, and that make people think about life differently. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to conform to what everybody else is doing. I just let my light shine, and people, they'd be like, dang, like maybe I'm doing something wrong,
Tell me that story about when you about to sign a big deal, or you just signed a big deal, and you were on your knees praying, and they came into the room. And so you one of those Jesus freaks, huh?
Yeah. This music industry crazy, right? But for me, when that happened, it was more so of I was trying to pray to make sure that I was making the right decision, right? And the guy was like, bro, you taking too long with the deal. You know what I'm saying? But I told him, look, bro, if I'm not moved by the decision, you know what I'm saying, from him, then I'm not doing it.
Him being God.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Like I'm not doing it at all. Like there's no way that I'm gonna move without some type of direction at all.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. So I know you were working with Kodak Black.
Yep.
He's from Miami?
Fort Lauderdale.
Yep. So what's that relationship like? Do you still in contact with him?
Yeah, I talked to him not too long ago through the DMs, and we text. He cool, it's just I'm trying to just focus on what I got going on in my artistry. And that's just with anybody that I've worked with. A lot of people, they like, well, why you don't work with such and such? But I told them in this season right now, I'm just betting all my cards on me as an artist, because it's okay to play in the background, but I didn't fall in love with music to be in the background. I saw certain people on stage like the Michael Jacksons and the Bow Wows and all, and they were artists. I didn't know anything about production at that time. You know what I'm saying? I just used production to get my foot in the door, and now I'm doing everything that I feel like I should be doing.
Yeah. Well, I think that's very powerful. You're doing a good job with that. I see you got a lot of jewelry on, things of that nature. Is that part of the image you're projecting as a hip hop artist, or something that you enjoy? Things of that nature. Do you invest a certain amount into that image?
So one thing I've learned about hip hop, the fans love to see, somebody who made it. And it's sad to see. And, to answer your question, this jewelry is just, this is not who I am. I don't wake up and put this on every day. I do this, for certain occasions. But people measure success strictly off of the things that you have, right? In our culture. But, at the end of the day, we just need to make sure that we understand that this is materialistic, right? And I feel like that comes from, somebody told me that this is slavery, right? We get infatuated by whips and chains.
Yeah. Oh, I got
right?
you. Yeah.
So it's almost in our quote unquote DNA. But if you don't look the part, people won't support you. So
interesting.
It's weird, but you do this to sell records. You do this to get in the rooms because nobody wants to work with a nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pause right here.
Yeah.
Could you ask one question about his journey as an artist? Like where was the mindset? What inspired him to be an artist?
I was just about to go with Joe Bell all that through that way.
So just like his mindset.
Yeah.
Like what inspired him?
Right. So on this journey, and obviously you have, for most people would say, have made it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You make a nice little income. You have a nice home, nice cars, things of that nature. What was the inspiration? And let's go back to 8 years old, 10, whatever it was. What was the inspiration when a light kicked on and said, I want to do this?
I was maybe 9, I believe. I was at Northmore
Elementary.
And
West Palm Beach, Florida.
Yeah, West Palm. And my auntie Noble, she used to pick me up from school, and I went to my grandma's house, and she turned on the TV. BET was on, and I saw Bow Wow on the TV, and I didn't understand that a kid at that, my mind wasn't developed. I didn't know that kids did music. So that was the light bulb for me to say, okay, I play drums in church, right? And I like music. But I didn't know that doing music at that level could get that type of success that early. So for me, that was my inspiration.
And full circle.
Yep.
You see Bow Wow.
Yeah, we did a song together. Yeah. Yeah, I told him about that too, and he kind of was like, "Yeah, that's cool, bro." Kind of just shrugged it off.
A lot of people have come up to him. Yeah. So you go through there, and then middle school, Joe Bell, Roosevelt Middle School.
Yep.
He had an impact on you.
Oh yeah, most definitely. He was for him, I would say that Joseph Bell was the person who really gave me the professionalism to understand how the structure of music was for marching band, right? But of course, like I said, I still use that formula for how I make records. You know what I'm saying? Not number ones, but how I make records. Just seeing how everything moves, the discipline, letting people know like nobody cares. I remember he used to say that like, yo, nobody cares. Like either you're gonna get the job done or you're not. So for me, I learned that through him. Yeah.
And you go to high school, Lonnie Green, what impact did he have on you? Palm Beach Lakes High School.
He
as a band leader.
Yeah. I remember he came to my house. I was getting into some trouble, and he told my mom like, yo, he's necessary for this program. Right. And that was the first time that I felt like I was, what's the word when you are,
illuminated or
not illuminated. I just felt wanted. Right.
Okay.
In a sense, like I felt like my position in the band was necessary. Right. Because a lot of times people do things and they don't understand how important you are to not only the program or the culture. That was when, he was like, look, he's not here. I almost felt like Devin Miles on drumline.
Oh, okay.
Like, I want my boy on the field. Like he came to the house and was like, listen, I need him because he's the glue to what I got going on, and I can get him a scholarship. And if you allow me to, I can help him out with his grades and all of that. And he was just like a mentor, all in all for me.
Yeah. So that's big because how many people in the band? 12 at the high school band?
12? No. 150.
Right.
Yeah.
So for him to come in and did he do that for everyone? You don't know that. I don't know he came to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when I was a high school coach, I would go and do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And try to make people feel wanted.
Yeah.
is a big deal like that. So what other, if someone were to come up to you and say, listen, help me, how would you go about it? What would you first thing you would say?
Let me hear something. Like right now.
Right now. Singing,
whatever,
tapping.
Whatever you. If you're a producer and you don't have any beats in your phone, it's 2025. If you don't have any beats in your phone, don't even approach me. If you sing or rap and you say, I sing or I rap and I say, let me hear something right now.
Yeah.
And you can't give it to me, just DM me on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah. And how many people come up to you during the course of a week?
It all depends on the car. Well, not any car that I have is an eye catcher.
Yeah.
So they come up to me and they be like,
let's talk about that lime green Lamborghini.
Yeah. It's a nice car, I guess. But they come up to me and be like, bro, I know you. Like, I do music. Like, I want you to check me out. I said, let me hear something. Let me see what I got. I'm like, bro, just DM it to me. I can't just sit out here in the, in the gas station and talk to you. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, they think that they want to do music, but they don't really understand what goes into it.
Yeah.
The sacrifices, the long nights, the hard work, the losing friends. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? And people, they just see the glitz and glamour, but they don't understand the real deal hard work that goes behind this.
So it's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
But you lost some close friends.
Yeah.
Some has taken money from you.
Yeah.
Some have done some things. That's touchy. How do you choose your friends now?
I don't, man, look, whoever I'm with, I tell people this. If you were around me, right, I don't kick you out of my life. You kick yourself out, right? God will remove you. I was talking with one of my guys, Mike, and I said, bro, every time somebody leaves, we always level up. I said, I had one guy that I met in college. He left, right? We ended up getting our first couple placements, right?
What's a placement?
A placement is where you get a beat sold on,
okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
or
made some money.
Get some money, right?
Yeah.
So he was like, bro, we've been working so hard, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think it ain't nothing really happening. So he came up to me, this in Nashville. He said, I'm getting ready to go back to Detroit. Whenever y'all make it, let me know. What? Right? So I told him, I said, all right, bet. He's calling every day now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't pick up the phone, but that happened, right? We leveled up, got to the next level. Then something else happened. Another guy ended up leaving. We ended up linking with another artist and we took us to the next level. Somebody ended up taking something from me and he ended up leaving. Grammy nomination, Grammy Award-winning. Something else happened. Some other people left. 2 World Entertainment Awards, NAACP nominations, Stellar Award nominations. So every time somebody leaves or I feel like something happens, I feel like God is removing people so they won't get what is really meant for me, because I had a problem with just bringing people around and trying to put people on when they really didn't deserve the success.
Yeah. Well, it's a tough lesson, right? But lesson learned.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, all metal goes through fire. That's how things are forged. What else would you like to say to the community? There's some young people out there that's listening and they want to do what you want to do the right way.
Yeah.
So we talk about the right way. My former career was, I worked for the Internal Revenue, right? My law degrees are in accounting and finance. When it comes to paying taxes, because you hear a lot of athletes, musicians, they get taken down by taxes.
Yeah.
Right? What advice would you give them?
If you got $100,000, understand you do not have $100,000. Just go ahead and take the money and put it to the side. However much it is. Now, you can get certain things written off, right? But still always have that to the side just in case your account can't get it written off. And just understand that money is not really yours. You know what I'm saying? People look at $100,000 like, I got $100,000. Let me go get this car, or let me go get this. And then that following year, they like, yo, we got this and you haven't paid that. So just pay it. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much it is, because they coming for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you recommend that they get a CPA or get an accountant?
Oh yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Got to.
What about a lawyer?
Oh yeah. So if you're doing anything in any industry, I don't care if it's entertainment, sports, you need a lawyer to look over what you got. I remember somebody told me literally like the other day, they was like, bro, I'm trying to do this deal with you. Do you have your lawyer and retainer? I said, nah, she charges me every time she looks at paperwork. He said, well, I might have a lawyer for you and you can just use mine and it's good. I said, nah, that ain't gonna work because I know for a fact your lawyer is in cahoots with you and they'll tell me that the deal is good. And after they tell me that the deal is good, now I signed it, but the deal was in your favor. So now I'm messed up. So I always go in and get your own lawyer, get everything that you need for yourself.
Well, good advice. We covered spiritual, we covered financial, we talked about the business.
Yeah.
You're not married.
Nope.
So how do you differentiate a future wife when they come running up to you? How do you separate them? I mean, to say, you know what, this is the person who I want to put my investments in and everything of that nature. How would you go about doing that?
So there's no way you can, you know what I'm saying? Like life is a gamble as far as dealing with relationships. Like, you know, you're married. So how do you know? That's a question for you. I would know, you know what I'm saying? Only thing, you just got to have that gut feeling that whoever is around you, has good intentions for you. Right now, I'm in a place where I'm trying to figure out and make sure that whatever I'm doing for myself is the best, not only for me, but for my partner and for my family as a whole, because bringing somebody in, they're not just an individual or they're not just a girlfriend or a boyfriend. If you on the other side for females, not for me. Got to make that clear. But they won't be that. They will be one. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you going through, they go through. Whatever they go through, you go through. So you just got to make sure that they're willing to go through the fire with you no matter what it is. You know?
Okay. Well, hey, we've asked you a lot of questions.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to leave or deposit to the audience that's listening?
Yes. I know it may be some people that's watching this that's doing music or doing sports or anything entertainment. I'm going to leave you with 3 things, right? 3 things. You must think, right? Think about what it is that you want to do, right? Jot it down, plan it. I have a notebook, piece of paper that I wrote out my senior year in high school. I wrote down every plan, right? After you think about it, you go out and work, right? You work on your craft every single day, day in and day out. Because if you don't work, it won't work, right? Go as hard as you can because a lot of times people will project their fear on you, right? Lastly, after you work as hard as you can and you accomplish that goal, go back to the community that you're from. Go back to the school that you graduated from. Go back and serve the greater purpose for the next generation, because just like you needed help, the next generation need help. So go out, think, work, and serve.
So the community, you talk about giving back to the community. That's a big deal. A lot of people talking words about it, but they're really not really serious about it.
Yeah.
So here in West Palm Beach, you have something called Dubba-AA Day. Explain that to me.
Dubba-AA Day is a community drive that I do with the help of Alexis Lockhart. She is, honestly, it should have been Alexis Day because she really is the driving force behind it. But it's where I come back to the city of Riviera Beach, West Palm Beach, actually the whole county.
Palm Beach County.
And I do a book bag drive, I do a concert, and I do something called the Fund the Family Initiative. And it's just where, you know, underprivileged kids or kids in the community, they want to come out and learn about what it takes to be in the music industry. They want to get some free food, some free haircuts. We come back and we give, and we partner with the Masons and the NAACP and the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And they give, you know, we give back in a way to where it makes sense. Not only for just those group, but just the whole county. You know, growing up, I only saw athletes doing certain things like that. And I know every kid isn't an athlete. Somebody wants to play music, you know, and do things in the entertainment world. So to see me come back to the community and give back, that's always a blessing for me to do that.
Well, I think it's a blessing for Palm Beach County. I know we came back and you were on the television show with the news channel.
Yeah.
And you talked about that quite a bit. And everything was community, giving back. And they love that, obviously, with that piece. When you do your videos, how much of that is acting? I know you called me one time, you said, this acting thing, because you went over from the music video and do some acting. You said, this is totally different.
Yeah, so when I did the TV show on Starz, it was different. You know, you shoot a video, it may take 1 to 2 hours. We were out there from 4 p.m. till 4 a.m. doing the same scene, one scene. Because they got to move the cranes, they got to mic up people, they got to get certain angles. They got to make sure that they just get it right, you know. And that's why when you see movies and you say, why is it taking a 1.5 years for this movie to come out, or a TV show? It's because it goes very in depth with everything, you know what I'm saying? With music videos, you more so just lip singing what you're doing, but in acting, you have to go in and you have the music production, you have the sound effects team, you got the special effects team, you got the actors, you got to learn lines. It's just a lot that goes into
So you have to give a lot of credit for those musicians like Marky Mark, who goes over and become a pretty good actor.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got to give him props for that. It's totally different.
It's a whole different world. So I thought that it was going to be a walk in the park, but I was like, I don't know what I got myself into. But I think I like it a little bit more than the music now.
Really? That was my next question. Yeah. Because every basketball player wants to be an actor. Every actor wants to be an athlete, right? Every athlete wants to be a musician. Yeah. It's like, you know, it's always spinning around, you know, that sort of thing. And why do you think that is?
We want things that's unattainable at that moment, you know? Like, of course, I want to play in the NBA. Give me a 10-day contract. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? But I know for a fact that that may not be attainable. And then, of course, you see people like LeBron James, they want to rap. And Allen Iverson had an album. And Kobe had an album.
Deion Sanders had a pretty good song.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know if it was pretty good, but it was cool. Must be the money. Yeah. Prime time, baby. Yeah. But other than that, you know, everybody wants to do things that I feel like they shouldn't be doing. You know, do what you're good at. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's not obtainable and it can't happen, because anything is possible. But man, just leave some space for the small people, you know?
Yeah. Well, I will say the NBA, that celebrity at the All-Star game, they have the celebrity basketball game. Yeah, some of those guys, they can play.
Some. You're like 1 or 2 out there. You know what I'm saying? But a lot, like I saw, I'm not going to say his name, but one guy, this guy is huge. Yeah. And he was terrible. 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 You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, other than that, you know, some people, like I said, some people can touch everything, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And some people should just leave it alone.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. You heard it for yourself, Dubba-AA. Now, you're doing your country album.
No, I'm not. Nah, that's a different person.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so we thank Dubba-AA for coming in and doing his service to the community by giving you some tidbits, some golden nuggets of information. I just want to thank you, brother. You know, for coming in.
Yes, sir.
And so you can lead our watch if you like. So I ain't never seen type of watch. What type of watch is that?
Just a nice brown watch.
Yeah. That what'd that run you? Just a cool. I'm going to guess. Let me guess.
All right.
So I got a little Rolex here that cost me a little piece of money.
That's a GMT. That's the Batman right there. Batgirl.
Yeah. So I'm going to guess that could run you $20,000.
Okay. That's a good guess. But way off. Way off. But we ain't talking about money. We already talked about finances.
Yeah, we did. So we thank you so much for joining us. And next time, join into us so we talk about leadership unlocked. I hope you learned something from today. This is your host, Dr. George Lockhart, signing off. Until next time, remember, God is always in control.